Hey everyone, Rudra this side. I'm going to show you how you can connect your local Linux machine with your AWS EC2 instance using SSH. Now, if you are a beginner, most of the time you will face some kind of problem while doing this. Maybe your SSH connection is not working, maybe the terminal is just freezing, maybe you are getting a permission error, or maybe you are not able to understand what exactly is happening. There are actually so many small things that can cause this kind of problems. So in this video, we are going to see the complete process. You will start from creating an EC2 instance, then we will configure everything that is required, and finally we'll connect that EC2 instance from our local Linux machine using SSH. And I will also show you some extra things that are actually useful when you are working with EC2 in real projects. So yeah, let's start. So first, let's create our EC2 instance. I'm here on the AWS console. Now you can simply search from EC2 from here. Okay, like EC2, and you will get EC2 service. Just click on that. But before creating the instance, there is one thing you should check. Okay, just click on it, and here you can see there is a button for launch instance. Okay, but before that, make sure the region is properly selected before creating your server. You can keep the default region if you want, but you should understand why the region matters. Basically, your EC2 server will be created inside the region that you select. So if you are in India, for example, you would normally choose a region that is reasonably close to your user or your infrastructure, because a closer region generally means lower network latency. Things like service availability, pricing, compliance, and where user where your user are located can also matter in your projects. From this demo, I am just going to use the region I have selected here, Hyderabad. Okay, now let's click on launch instance. Okay, so now the instance name, AWS is asking for the instance name. You can basically give any name you want here. I'm going to use suppose EC2 Ubuntu SSH demo. Okay, this name is just for identifying our EC2 instance inside AWS. It is not the host name that we'll use for connecting to the server, so don't confuse these two things. Okay, next part is selecting the operating system. Now below this, you will need to select the operating system. Basically, just like your local computer has an operating system, your EC2 server also needs an operating system. Here AWS gives you different options. You can choose Ubuntu, Amazon Linux, Red Hat, and other options depending on what is available in your region. For production, there is not in one single Linux distribution for every company uses. You will commonly see Ubuntu, Amazon Linux, Red Shell, then Debian, and other depending on companies infrastructure and requirement. But for this video, I'm going with Ubuntu 24.04 LTS version. And I'm choosing Ubuntu because it is very common and the ecosystem is used, and for someone learning Linux and deployment, it is also pretty straightforward to work with. So choose Ubuntu, and by default it will select Ubuntu 26.04 LTS version. So click on it and make it 24.04. It totally depends on you, but for this video I'm choosing this properties. Okay, after that there is an option for instance type. Okay, so this section is for instance type. Now we have the instance type. Basically, this decides how much compute power our EC2 machines will have. You have different options here depending on how much CPU, memory, and other resources you need. For this demo, I'm going with a small instance that is appropriate for learning and testing. If your AWS account has a free tier eligible option, you can choose that one. But keep in mind, AWS free tier rules and eligible instance types can change. So always check what your own account currently shows instead of blindly copying an tutorial. Old tutorial. And one more thing I want to mention here, when I was starting this stuff, I faced one problem while building application on a small EC2 instance. Sometimes your applications build can take a lot of memory. For example, when you are building an Next.js applications, the available RAM can become a problem on a very small instance. Okay, that is where the concept of swap memory becomes useful. I'm not going to deep into swap memory in this video because that is not our main topic right now. But if you are planning to use a small EC2 instance for development or practice, just remember this concept. You will talk about we'll talk about that in a separate video. Okay, just choose for this video I'm going to choose T3 small, or also this one is available for free tier. Let's choose this one, T3 small. Okay, now the next section is key pair. Okay, now we have something very important here. This is key pair section. So what exactly is a key pair? Basically, this is what you are going to use to authenticate yourself, or you can say ourselves, when connecting to the EC2 server through SSH. If you are already have a key pair, you can select it from here. Just click on it. And if you have suppose I have my test key, I can all select it, select that, but I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to create a new key pair. I'll give it a name. So for that, just click on create new key pair and give it a name. You can name it anything. Okay, I'm just going with the same name, EC2 SSH, EC2 SSH, and demo key. It totally depends on you. And because I'm connecting from Linux, I'm going to download the PEM file. So RSA and .pem, create key pair, right? It will be downloaded inside my download folder. Okay, we're gonna use it. And because I'm connecting from, okay, now you might be wondering what exactly is this .pem file. So PEM is a format used to store encoded cryptographic keys and certificates. In our case, this .pem file contains the private key that we'll use for SSH authentications. Let me show this to you. If I open with open it with a text editor, you can see this is our PEM file. Okay, begins RSA private key. So this is how it looks. But do not share with anyone. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like why. And one important thing, this private key does not get uploaded to the EC2 server for normal SSH authentications. You keep the private key on your local machines. AWS has the corresponding public key associated with the EC2 instance, and SSH uses these keys to verify that you are allowed to connect. Okay, so please don't upload this .pem file to GitHub. Don't send it to someone. Don't put it inside your project folder and accidentally commit it. And don't keep it in like somewhere publicly accessible. Okay, because this is our private key. If someone gets access to it and the server SSH access is exposed appropriately, they may be able to they may be able to access or you can say they may be able to authenticate as you. Also, AWS does not give you a button to download the same private key again whenever you want. So when you create the key pair, keep the private key somewhere safe. I'm going to show you a proper place to store it on the Linux in a minute. Okay, so just let's remove it. We just create a key pair and selected that. Okay, and the next part that is security group. Okay, and network settings. So this is security group. Now we are coming to the security group. This is basically the network level firewall of our EC2 instance, and the most important thing for us right now is SSH. SSH is what you are going to use to remotely connect to our Ubuntu server. SSH normally uses port 22. Okay, here you can see allow SSH from traffic. Anywhere. It is now by default selected as anywhere. So we need to allow SSH traffic to our EC2 instance. Now AWS gives you different options here. Okay, if I click here, you can see custom anywhere your IP. You can allow SSH from anywhere, or you can restrict it to a specific IP. For a real production server, I would recommend restricting SSH access to your own IP or a trusted network whenever possible, because if you allow this IP from anywhere, like anyone can access, because allowing connection attempts to port 22 from anywhere on the internet, that actually that does not mean automatically that anyone can get into your server. They still need valid authentication. But if you don't need SSH exposed to everyone, there is no reason to keep it open to the whole internet. For this demo, you can use whatever makes sense for your setup. Later, when you are working with real infrastructure, you should understand exactly who needs access to your server and restrict it accordingly. Okay, when you are going to a company and work for them, you will probably know. Okay, this is it. And for the storage, now we have the storage sections. For this demo, I'm going to keep the storage configuration simple. You might see something like 30 GB here, but 30 GB, or I think this is the like free tier volume. I think if I cross that, then I will be charged. But the free tier is billing rules depends on your account and AWS current pricing terms. So always check what AWS is showing for your account before launching something. For this demo, I'll just keep the appropriate default storage, and this is pretty much everything we need. So now I will click on launch instance. Okay, and also you can create number of instances. You can choose 1, 2, 3 according to your need, but for now we'll choose one and click on launch instance. Okay, our instance is being created. It can take a little bit of time, so just wait until the instance state changes from something like pending to running, then click on it. Okay, and you can see instance state running, right? Okay, here you can see a lot of information about your EC2 instance. Okay, instance ID, public IPv4 address, private IPv4 address, public DNS, then so many options. Okay, you can choose monitoring, then status and alarm, security, networking, storage, tags. There are so many things. Okay, but for now, we can also but for now the main thing is that public IPv4 address. This is the public IP through which we can reach our EC2 server from outside. So I'm going to copy this IP. Just copy this IP. Keep this somewhere because you are going to use it in our SSH commands. You can also see the public IPv4 DNS. That is another host name here. Public DNS. Okay. Public IP DNS name. Okay, this is another host name that can be used to connect to the instance. So instead of using the public IP, you can also connect using the public DNS name. For this video, I mainly use the IP because it is easier to understand. Then AWS connection section. Just now let's click on connect. Okay, click on connect. AWS gives you different options for connecting to the AWS instance. But for now, there are options you can see in web browser, in SSH client. You can connect through the browser session manager, SSH client, and some other options depending on your setup. But for this video, we are interested in the SSH client. Okay, so click on the SSH client. This is the SSH client. Okay, and AWS will show us some information we need. You can see the username here. This is the username, Ubuntu. Because we selected Ubuntu, the default username is Ubuntu, and then AWS give you the SSH commands. There is also a command here for changing the permission of the PEM file. Like we are going to do that ourselves for our local Linux terminal. Okay, so just open your terminal for now. I'm just opening my KT terminal, and if I go to download folder, okay, if I go to my download folder and do a simple ls, you can see this is I think, yeah, this is my PEM file, right? Okay, now let's move to our local machine. So this is my PEM file. Now I don't want to keep my private SSH key inside downloads, so I'm going to create the standard SSH directory if it does not already exist. Okay, so just clear the terminal and do mkdir and -p. P means if the parent directory is not exist, do not complain, just make it. Okay, so this is the meaning of that, and use this symbol. This symbol means slash like home slash username. Okay, so you can use this symbol as a shortcut. Otherwise you can write like slash home. Suppose my name is Rudran Boite, so slash home slash Rudran Boite, then sorry, Rudran Boite, then your name, but according to your username. So that's why just use this symbol. Okay, this symbol. After that, just type slash then dot ssh. Okay, what this particular command will do, it will create a .ssh file in your root directory, right, in your user directory. And for like the next command will be, we just need to move okay, let's check our file name. Okay, now we need to move our private key to that folder. So what is our PEM file? This one. So mb, paste this file name, right? After that we need to give the path. Okay, so what is the path? So this is user directory, then .ssh. Okay, click enter, and if I do again ls, you can see this is not available here, that PEM file. Okay, this PEM file. By default I already have another PEM file, but this PEM file is not available. If I go to suppose home directory and do a cd.ssh, you can see this is here inside our .ssh file, right? So this is a much better place to keep SSH keys on Linux. Now fixing the PEM permission. Okay, suppose if you go here and this is the command. Like I also told you that why this command is important. Okay, because if you just run this, suppose I mean, like AWS give you this option. Okay, if you just run this command, it will like throw an error. Okay, like why that error is throwing, because if you check here, ls-ltr, you can see, if you know about file permission in Linux, this is a file, and it has the owner has the access, right, to read and write. Also the other, like the groups people also have the access to read and write. Okay, if for that reason you need to change the file permission. So for that you can do chmod. Okay, just copy paste this. I think it will be better, but for now just do chmod, mode, yeah, chmod 4000 is basically used for to remove all the access and only give you the like wait a second, let me tell you. Let me just run this command. After that I will like tell you like what is the difference. Just type EC2 and tab, it will complete it. Sorry, I think okay, ls-ltr, and this is file. Okay, and let me just copy paste this command. Okay, if I do ls-ltr, you can see before running this command, I have like my user have permissions to read it and write it. You can, like, I can modify that file, but after running the command I don't have any permissions, only the owner have the read permissions, right? Okay, and group and the others don't have any permissions on this particular file. So that is why you need to do this, because only the owner can read this private file. This is the most important thing you need to do, because SSH is strict about private key permissions. If your private key permissions are too open, SSH can reject the key and you will get an error instead of connecting. So don't skip this step. Then go to the like connecting with SSH. Okay, now finally we need to connect. Now the command is, if you go here, the command is, let me go to the home directory, just clear this. Okay, now the command is ssh -i -i. After that you need to paste your absolute path. There is a relative path and there is an absolute path. So the ssh key absolute path will be this, and .ssh slash EC2, and just press tab, it will be completed. Okay, so here I means identity file. Okay, basically we are telling SSH use this particular private key for authentication, then you give the path name to our .pem file. Okay, this is the path, this is the identity, means use this particular private key for authentication, then you need to provide the path. This is absolute path. Okay, make sure this is absolute path, and after that just type ubuntu, because it is our by default username. If you are using Ubuntu, it can be vary from which OS you are using. Okay, and after that use your IP. IP means this thing. Okay, public IPv4. Just paste this, and after the @ we are giving the public IP address of our EC2 instance. So I'll replace your obviously you are going to replace it with your own, and now let's press enter. If I press enter, it will ask for are you sure you want to continue connecting. Just type yes and press enter. Permanently added known host. Okay, अभी known host क्या है वो भी बताऊंगा, ठीक है. Okay, now we are connected to verify. Okay, to verify, just type who am I. And you can see that my SSH connection is freeze. Now let's talk about the problem that I mentioned at the beginning. Sometimes you run the SSH commands and it looks like it just frozen. Okay, nothing happens. In that situation, don't immediately assume that your PEM file is wrong, or there can be different reasons. First, check the whether EC2 instance is actually running or not. Okay, you can see before that, let me tell you that this is Ubuntu. Okay, and you can just do your work, and finally when you are done working with this, with the server, we can simply type exit, and it will be exited. If I do here who am I, you can see this is my username. like this is the user, and when we are inside that EC2 instance, this is my username. Okay, so this is how you connect your EC2 instance. But before leaving the video, let me tell you some of the problems that you may face during the connection. Before I I already told you that you maybe feel some like when you enter, you maybe feel nothing happens, like your terminal freeze. There are so many reasons. Okay, maybe your port 22 is not allowed to SSH, so make sure to check that. Okay, and make sure your PEM file is correct. Make sure you give the perfect absolute path. That is why I totally make a full video, like totally from scratch, so that you do not miss any step. Okay, and also give you so many things you may face, like you also know about that. Okay, suppose again I log in, like enter into that SSH, and if I do h top, or is h top available? Okay, no, I think top command available. No, it is also not available. um, you can also install it, I think. Sudo apt install htop. Okay, okay, htop error opening terminal extreme kitty. Oh, okay, I think I'm using kitty terminal, that's why it is giving me error. But if you are using any other terminal, you can simply using htop, and you can see like what are the memory. Okay, here you can see what are the memory uses, then every other things you can see there. Okay, so yeah, this is a complete process of connecting your local Linux machine to an AWS EC2 Ubuntu instance using SSH. We created the EC2 instance, selected Ubuntu, created the key pair, configured the security group, got the public IP, stored our .pem file properly inside .ssh, fixed the permission using chmod 400, and finally connected to the server using SSH. And honestly, this is one of those things that looks complicated when you are doing it for the first time. But once you understand what the key is, what port 22 is, what is security groups does, and how the SSH commands works, it actually pretty straightforward. Okay, from here you can start doing the interesting stuff like deploying applications, setting up Nginx, PM2, Docker, domain, SSL, and eventually CI/CD. So that is it for the video. I'll see you in the next one with a new project. Thank you. And before that, make sure after learning, okay, make sure to stop the instance, because it will cost you. So to stop the instance, you can just click here. Okay, and click on instance test state, then terminate and delete. Otherwise I choose to terminate and delete, you can also stop it. Okay, so this is it. Yeah, see you in the next one. Thank you.